Yeah, so tell people that. You did a what, 23-minute plank?
Yeah, so that was my highest 23-minute plank.
I want to talk about that. So 23 minutes. Damn, bro.
So at that time, that was...
If anyone's listening to this, or whoever is listening to this, try a plank right now. And just try one today and see what you get. Chances are most people maybe will cap it like 2 to 3 minutes. 3 is 4, I think, is like a pretty decent plank. I'm like, all right,
for sure.
Impressed.
Yeah.
So damn, 23 minutes. Talked about that.
So at the time, the world record was 50. This is maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was an American, and he had it for 50 minutes. So at that time, I thought, you know what, I might be able to go for that. Even though 23, it's a far off, right? It's not 50.
So you thought that once you got 23, then you were like, all right, maybe I can push. No, but you were like...
No, I was probably at I probably got like about 15, and I thought, you know what, it's as horrible as it is in 2 minutes in as it is at 10 minutes in. And I thought, if I can just keep going. So we did during class one day, we did a plank for as long as you can. Once you're done your plank, you go over and start with the circuits. And I thought, you know what, I feel pretty good today. I'm gonna see what I get here. And even 23, like I mean, I'm not saying I could have done longer, but I kind of like at the 20-minute mark, because I didn't say I'm out to do 23 minutes today. I thought, you know what, I got through, first of all, I'm the trainer, so I'm like, oh, I better get the best time here, or you know. So people were doing amazing. You know, people are like averaging like 6 minutes, and it's that.
What the hell's going on in this water, man?
But what people, it's that.
Was it a point that you guys were practicing planks?
Yeah, like we do a lot of planks, right? Yeah. But it's that it's a lot of that pure energy, right? Like other people are doing it.
Environment's contagious.
You know, yeah, it's that military mindset, right? Like I'm not gonna tap out first here. So anyway, we got to a point, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go like minute by minute, and so I just kept watching. The rest of the class went on around me.
You training this class?
My partner was training it, and he was doing awesome. And I thought, you know, I'm gonna keep going. And the only reason I'm not saying I could have kept going, but I was going to stop at 20, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm not saying that.
I don't want to break the record today. On a Tuesday?
100% not saying that. I'm saying when I got to 20, I thought, you know what? I can make 21. And then when I was at 21, I thought, I really like the number 23.
Sure.
I'm doing 23. And then I was out, you know. But don't get me wrong. Every second was horrible, and I wanted to quit the whole time. But after doing it, I felt amazing, and now I can throw it in my feather in my cap and be like, hey, you know, not that I bring it up, but anyway,
did today.
Where I was gonna go with the 4-minute mile stuff. So at that time it was only 50, right?
Yeah.
Then I think it was about 2 years ago. This guy who was, I believe he's ex-military and like a monk. He had some like meditation, high level stuff going on. He made it to like 5 hours.
No.
Okay. So 5 hours, catheter in 5 hours. Okay. After that, then I believe it was the original guy. I'd have to look all this up. I think it was George Hood, I think his name. He came back, or whoever the other guys came back, and he did like 5.5 hours. And then those two guys back. So now it's at like 8 something, right? But it's those floodgates of
and this is
perception.
Also in the last like 10 years?
Oh, it's in the last like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, where it was like, because if you said to someone, 50-minute plank, you'd be like, you are insane.
Yeah.
But now you're like, hey, 8.5 hour plank or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like,
and that's something to highlight too. Is I talked to this with another guest, Saw the other day, and we talked about how nowadays we compare ourselves with. We have access to comparing ourselves with the best of the best.
Yeah.
And again, what we talked about is that back in the day, before like the internet and all that social media, you had a group of 50 or to 100 people, right, around you in your proximity, and chances are you were the best at something. Maybe you're the best artist or the best designer or the best plank holder. And you feel good about that. Like, that's almost an identity for you, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're expanded your environment, your demographic to the entire world. Billions of people.
Yeah.
Even though that accomplishment is still quite an accomplishment that you should be proud of regardless, and you should take with you with a sense of pride, but you know what? I'm proud of what I did because that's an achievement.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that when you do hear an 8-minute or 8-hour plank, that doesn't take away from your accomplishments.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome point. Yeah.
It's very hard to, because sometimes, even with my challenge last year, I'm trying to do all this cool stuff, and all of a sudden, this guy Ross, right? And I'm like, I hear he does this triathlon. He does a triathlon with a 100-pound log.
Yeah.
He climbs a rope the size of Mount Everest. He swims across Great Britain. And like all of a sudden, I'm motivated and inspired by that.
Yeah.
But it kind of takes away from you the confidence that you did, because you're like, you shouldn't. It shouldn't at all.
Yeah.
But we're ingrained to compare, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully you can kind of take that, and anyone listening to this can take that and just remember what you did is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to other people. Whoever did something really crazy, big props to them. Use that as maybe more inspiration and motivation, but don't look at what you did any less.
For me, I remember when I went to OCAD, like I thought, like growing up, I thought I was a awesome artist. You know, that was kind of my identity. I thought, I'm a good. That's what I'm good at. You know what I mean? And I went there, and I was fine. And but I saw people who I thought, wow, that guy is way better than me, or that girl is, you know.
What did you do at that point? Did it make it look like, well, I got no chance to become an artist?
So I was still young at that age, and I didn't see it as a motivator to step up. I thought, you know, I'm not as good as them, you know. But it was a good lesson looking back, because just like you just said, like now I think that's awesome, that's motivating, but it also motivates me to push myself. And maybe I'll never be as good a whatever as that person.
It's like maybe I might be. The growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. Like we have the ability to adapt and grow. Right?
Exactly. Like there's no wall around me, right? Like I don't know what I'm capable or what I'm not, right? As long as you just try, like you said, like putting yourself in a different situation or something, trying something new, not measuring yourself against someone else. You know, like. So, for example, someone I train, for example, could be like, well, you know, you're in great shape, or maybe they don't think that or whatever. But to me, I'm like, what? You know, this is not where I want it to be, and this is, you know, and this guy who I, you know, see on the internet or whatever, he's, you know.
That's good shape, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those things, I know that's silly, you know? Like, what is there? It's like George St. Pierre, right? Like saying, he's like, they're like, oh, are you the greatest fighter of all time? And he's like, no, I'm just lucky on some nights, and I train hard, and like, there is no greatest of, I guess, you know, I mean, sure, for maybe strength or something, like who can lift the heaviest thing, but as long as you're trying, like, how are you hurting anything? You know, you're winning.
Yeah.